Okay, so a new series has just come out called Erased, and I think it's going to be one of my favourite series that has come out in a long time. I can tell just by the premise and what's happening. So I watched the first episode last week, and I initially thought it was really good based on the first episode. When the second episode came out, I thought I might not enjoy it as much because the plot kind of changes. But no, I love it just as much. There's going to be a lot of spoilers in this, so I would definitely recommend watching the first episode and watching the second episode before you watch this review. So, okay, there you go. Alright then, here we go. So the first episode basically opens up with this guy who's monologuing a bit. It's one of those series that once you've watched it all the way through, you're going to have to rewatch it all over again because there'll be hidden meanings behind everything. But he basically says that he's had this ability since he was a kid where it's like a little blue butterfly. What it does is something really bad will happen, and then he calls it revival, where he'll go back in time by about 1 to 5 minutes. When he goes back, that means something bad was about to happen, and he basically stops that disaster from happening. So an example we get in this is a truck driver has a heart attack behind the wheel as he drives past. He goes back, and when he sees it this time, he goes round, he grabs it, pulls it out the way, it stops it from hitting a kid. He works with this girl, this brunette girl, who basically says something to him which kind of resonates with him in the next episode. So I kind of have a theory about him, we'll get to that a bit later. And the episode basically ends when he comes home and his mom's been stabbed and killed. And as he runs off, the police think it's him, so he has this big traumatic moment, and he ends up going back in time again using revival. But he doesn't go back 5 minutes, he goes back by about 18 years. 18 years ago, he's a kid, he's at school, and there was something that happened in the past where this brown-haired girl that he saw once, the last time he saw her, she actually got kidnapped and killed as a child. He thinks he's gone back in time to stop his mom from being killed, but he's also working like as a little side job to try and keep her alive as well. So I think that's the real reason why he's gone back, is to save this girl. So the year is 1988. When he's at school, all the kids are talking about like Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest and things like that. Something I like about this series is there's this ominous presence that something is happening around him, that someone's always watching him, and like something really bad could happen, because we know that he met someone as a child who was his friend who got accused of killing that girl, even though it wasn't actually him. So we see scenes of him in the backgrounds and stuff. We also saw it happened for like a second where a car goes past and it focused on the car, and then the car went back and nothing happened after that. So that'll be something that probably meant something a bit later in the series. But he's gone back in time and he's kept his mind. He's still 29 years old in his mind, and these are all things that he's experienced once, and he's basically gone back in time and he's doing it all again. So he thinks to himself, how would I have acted when I was this age? How would my friends want to see me? So he has to put on this kind of, he says it as one of the versions of himself to please others. But it was actually quite nice when he goes home and he sees all his toys on the wall and like a little, like a mask, pretty much rediscovering his childhood. So he gets a little smile on his face. And his mom comes home and he's like, how's it going? How you doing? You want some hamburgers? And he starts crying because he gets to see his mom again. If you've watched Yu-Gi-Oh!, which obviously you have if you subscribe to this channel, there's like, when Yugi talks, he's talking in his voice, and when he thinks, Yami Yugi talks. So like, you got this distinction between his mind and his actual body. But in this, when he talks like a kid, but when he thinks as his adult self. Which is funny because sometimes when he does it, he'll be saying it as a kid, and he'll be thinking it. That's like kind of when they're in sync together, I guess. And it kind of works like that. I like that. But he also has a tendency to say things out loud, what he's thinking. And he tells the brown-haired girl, well, the reason I'm easy to talk to is because I'm actually being honest with you. And he's like, oh, did I say that out loud? I think the main character's friend, the blonde-haired kid, he's going to become like someone who knows about what's happened. Like, he's going to confide in him and tell him, because he can tell, he can see that his friend is very different to how he normally acts. So he's gonna have to confide in him, say, yeah, well, I'm from the future really, and I'll come back to the past. I guess you don't believe me. And he'd be like, no, actually I do. I'm a pretty smart person. I trust you. I reckon this is real. So basically it ends up he's trying to save this girl, so he invites her to a party. He's trying to become friends, and his goal is not to let her ever be at that park alone again. And there's a nice bit where the girl goes, are your hands cold? And he's like, well, they are a bit. And he puts his hand up like this, and she puts her hands on him like this, and he goes, I'm 29 years old, why am I getting embarrassed by this? To summarise though, something about me, I absolutely love anything to do with time travel. I love Back to the Future, I love Terminator, fuck, anything to do with time travel, I am on that. So this series, as soon as I started watching it, it's resonated with me, so obviously I'm going to like it. If it ends as strong as it started, I hope it does, but it's very interesting. So I would definitely recommend anyone watching this who likes time travel, who likes Steins Gate, anything like that, or Detective Conan, because it's about detective kind of things really. I would definitely recommend watching this because I think it'll be one of the best animes this year. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a review on this Assassination Classroom and Yu-Gi-Oh! Every week. So they're the 3 reviews I'll be doing. Just let me know what you guys thought in the comment section below. Are you watching this anime? Would you consider watching this anime? Other than that, thanks a lot for watching, and don't forget to leave a like.